educated but unemployed, rethinking education as a tool for innovation, not just employment. A speech on education, innovation, and the future of youth. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished educators, policymakers, parents, and above all, dear young people, let me begin with a difficult truth. We are producing graduates faster than we are producing opportunities. Every year, thousands of young people across Rwanda and across Africa leave universities with degrees in their hands, but uncertainty in their future. They studied hard, they passed examinations, they earned qualifications, they followed every instruction society gave them, yet many still find themselves waiting, applying, hoping, and too often disappointed. And this forces us to confront an uncomfortable question. What if the problem is not the students, but the system itself? For decades, education has been built around one dominant promise: study hard, get a job, and succeed in life. But today, that promise is no longer guaranteed because the world has changed. While many education systems have remained the same, dear friends, we have unintentionally created a generation trained to seek opportunities, but not necessarily to create them. Degrees have become tickets to a race, with too few seats at the finish line. And when educated young people remain unemployed, frustration grows, not because they lack intelligence, but because they were prepared for a world that no longer exists. As Peter Drucker wisely said, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Yet many education systems are still teaching students to wait for the future, instead of creating it. Ladies and gentlemen, education must no longer be defined only by employment. It must also be defined by innovation, impact, creativity, and value creation. We must move from memorization to problem solving, from certificates to competencies, from job seeking to opportunity creation. Because entrepreneurship is not only about starting businesses, it is about a mindset that sees problems as opportunities, a mindset that takes initiative instead of waiting, a mindset that creates value where none existed before. A graduate should not only ask, who will hire me, but also ask, what problem can I solve? As Albert Einstein once said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. And unemployment will not disappear if education continues producing only job seekers. Dear young people, allow me to speak directly to you. You are not merely job seekers. You are potential creators, potential innovators, potential problem solvers. Your degree is not your destination. It is your toolkit. Stop waiting for perfect opportunities. They rarely arrive fully prepared. Start small. Learn skills beyond your field. Collaborate with others. Experiment. Fail. Learn again. Grow again. Because in a rapidly changing world, adaptability is more valuable than comfort, and creativity is more powerful than dependency. To the parents among us, many of you sacrificed greatly to educate your children, and your sacrifices deserve honor. But education is not fulfilled the day a child receives a degree. Education is fulfilled when that child becomes independent, impactful, and capable of creating value. Encourage creativity, not only compliance. Support ambition, even when it does not look traditional, because the future may not always wear a suit and tie. Sometimes the future looks like innovation, like startups, like digital solutions, like ideas that did not exist yesterday. To educators, you are shaping more than minds. You are shaping futures, and therefore, we must move beyond teaching students what to think and begin teaching them how to think, we must integrate practical skills, critical thinking, entrepreneurship, real-world problem-solving, because classrooms should not only produce graduates, they should produce innovators. As Nelson Mandela once declared, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. But education changes the world only when it empowers people to act. Honorable policymakers, this is where transformation becomes reality. Education policy must align with economic reality. We need curricula that prioritize skills and innovation. We need stronger support for youth initiatives and startups. We need partnerships between universities and industries. We need investment in vocational, technological, and digital skills. Because if education is not reformed today, unemployment will not remain only an economic issue. It will become a social crisis. Dear friends, Africa is not lacking talent. Africa is not lacking intelligence. Africa is not lacking ideas. What Africa often lacks is a system that fully unlocks its potential. With the youngest population in the world, Africa faces an important choice: to become a continent of job seekers or a continent of creators. And that choice begins with education. Let me leave you with this final thought. Education should not prepare you only to fit into the world as it is. It should empower you to shape the world as it should be. Because the future does not belong to those who wait endlessly. The future belongs to those who create. So let us redefine education, not merely as a path to employment, but as a foundation for innovation, independence, purpose, and impact. Because when education creates thinkers, thinkers create solutions, and solutions build nations. Thank you.